Yep, that's right. It's that time again. I'm your host, Sean Kilburn. This is F1 P1 Life, and today I'm bringing you the teams and drivers ranked as far as I'm concerned, in my own opinion. So let's get started. Where do I think Mercedes going to stack up? Well, you already know George Russell was saying that, he thought the orange and red team were looking pretty good. I think he's right, but I don't think he's being completely honest at the same time. And let me explain why. I think he's pulling a little bit of a Hamilton trick here, sandbagging a little bit. And, I think they're going to be doing all right themselves. I mean, that silver arrow is looking nice. And actually, I heard little birdie in the grapevine there that there might actually be some Mercedes upgrades coming in Bahrain, which actually I'm sure a few of the teams got some things up their sleeves, especially with all the porpoising and stuff going on. But Mercedes is known to pull a rabbit out of the hat there. So let's see what they come up with. That'll be interesting. Reese, that Mercedes just looks beautiful. Thing of beauty. Check out my liveries and designs ranking video. Check that out. See what I rated them. But, looking pretty good there. But these two, they get along well. Hamilton and George, I think they're going to be a pretty good team. I think they're going to do well. They're going to work together. They're going to be battling, don't get me wrong. They're going to be in some dominant cars, and I think they're going to be trying to do their best to best each other. Now, where are they really going to stack up? These two, man, they look clean in those new Petronas uniforms, huh? Well, believe it or not, I'm putting Mercedes back on top this year. So I definitely think they're going to be pulling out the constructors, and I obviously think that one of them is going to be the winner of the Drivers' Championship, and that is going to be Lewis Hamilton. Yes, that's right. I think he's pulling out the 8th championship this year. I think he's going all in. I think anybody to have thought anything otherwise is a little bit crazy there. But I think George Russell is going to definitely give him a huge run for his money this time around. And I think it's going to be a great battle in the W13. So Red Bull, I think, obviously they won the Drivers' Championship last year. They came in second for the Constructors. Very strong car. Two great drivers. Obviously, Max is great. Checo has always been an amazing driver. And I think in the Red Bull has really shown some of his true gifts, really. But one thing that we do know is that they dumped a lot of time and effort into last season. Thankfully for Red Bull, it paid off with the Drivers' Championship. Be it as it may, leave that for another video. Max did win the title, though. He did get the Drivers' Championship. They do appear to have a few struggles going on. Not just with the porpoising, but I think, it's a lot different than last year. I think Max is going to do well. However, I think this is going to level the playing field a lot more between Max and Checo. I'm sure they tried to develop the car a lot more around Max. I mean, of course, he just got his deal to 2018. They pour in a lot of money into the kid, and, rightfully so. But I think it's still going to level the playing field a little bit. So these guys, looking strong, but yeah, I'm not trying to sandbag them. I'm not trying to downplay, but I really do think Red Bull might be tagging 4th this year. And again, these are my predictions, You got to go a little out in left field if you want to try to, bring home the prize, because things are always crazy throughout a season. You never know what's going to happen. But for one reason or another, and I'll get into it a little bit, I think Red Bull is going to pull out 4th. And as you see, I actually think Sergio Perez might best Verstappen. And I'm not trying to hate on Verstappen. I don't think he's going to be complete trash and not pull out points. But I think Perez really has been dying for a championship, and he's going all in. And, I'm putting him at 4th, so no, he's not getting the win. But at least out of his team, I think he's looking to really show what he can do. And again, this is his best chance to do it while everything is fresh and brand new. And he's probably not going to be around till 2028. He may be, but probably especially not with Red Bull. So, I think he's going to give it everything he has. And I think this might be the kind of year that he can make that happen. So now on to Ferrari. These guys, again, looking sharp. I like the uniforms. A lot of these teams have some pretty good uniforms going forward for 22. Obviously, the Scuderia is looking amazing, and I think it's putting up some numbers. We'll see this weekend when we get to Bahrain. Obviously, we're going to be able to watch a lot of it, thankfully. You know what I mean? But I think they're going to be able to do really well there. And, at least starting off in the season, I think they're going to do very well. And I highly doubt they're really going to try to fall back in the field. The Ferrari team has just been going night and day trying to bring themselves back to some glory. And I think they got two great guys and a great car to do it with. Carlos Sainz, definitely, he bested his teammate, I believe, right at the end by a point or so, or just, I'd have to go back and look, but I think it was like by a point or two. I mean, he just barely did it, I believe. And, so I think Charles Leclerc obviously is a great driver, but, Sainz has just always been a great driver. He has a lot of, experience. And I think he's doing all he can to really show and make the most of his time at Ferrari, not just trying to, get some glory with the name and rack in a few dollars. He's going all in. That's for sure. So where did I put them? Yeah, that's right. I put them second. I think Ferrari is going in, and I think they're really going to be giving the new Silver Arrows a run for their money. I don't even think Mercedes is going to run away with it. I think it's going to be a battle for a while. But you can see I actually put Carlos Sainz ahead of Charles Leclerc. Now, I'm not going to say how much he's going to beat him by, but I think overall his performance is just going to be consistently stronger, and I think he's going to pull out the points and, again, be giving those Mercedes and Charles Leclerc, too, a real go at this season. So yeah, check out, stay tuned. We'll see how I do. These are predictions. So, I will be running this back and, smacking myself in the face if it's just completely lopsided here. But, it is what it is. On to McLaren. Yeah, these two guys, I think everybody, weren't they ranked like favorite team? How do you not like the papaya orange team there, man? Lando. And of course, Danny Rick is just a great. The new McLaren is looking beautiful, and I think it's running pretty well. And it's interesting that they're not a team that's having any problems with a porpoising. So I think out of the gate, they're doing a little stronger. Now, it will be interesting to see, when the other teams kind of catch up, does that mean that they end up falling back because they're kind of towards the top, but still in the field, in the running? They're not running away with it now. But, some of the data and some of the comments so far shows that, like, the teams are trying to correct the porpoising, are starting to slow a little bit in speed. So perhaps they're not going to really lose anything in their rankings. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just throwing it out there as a topic of conversation, really. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But clearly, I think they're going to do pretty well. And, got a picture here of them at Monza with the 1-2. Oh, man, gotta love that. Get some more props to Danny Rick there and McLaren as a whole. And again, they're those uniforms. I'm loving them. But where did I place them? That's right. I put them at third. McLaren third. P3, Daniel Ricciardo, besting Lando Norris. I'm definitely a Lando fan. I'm a fan of both of them. But maybe you see a kind of trend here, at least for me. I kind of feel this is kind of going to be the season of the old guard, the old Gs. I really think that they're going to be using a lot of their knowledge, a lot of their expertise, and using this chance for the playing field to be leveled a bit, especially a couple of the guys on the new teams and, just Lewis Hamilton, obviously staying with the same team and so forth. But I think they're going to be using all that, and it's going to be a season of the old guard really just running away with it. But we'll see. Again, these are predictions. So now on to Alpine. Definitely not the biggest fan of their uniforms, I'll say that. But these two did a great job. Obviously, they came out in 5th for team rankings last year. And I think Alpine, they put up a strong performance. They got a P1, they got a P3. They were doing really well. I'm sure Alonso was definitely pleased with that at the end. I think that was a great way to end it off, too, for Alpine. But where do I put them in the rankings? I put them 7th. That's right. I think they're going to drop down a little bit. I didn't feel too great. Now, we couldn't see everything, but obviously there's a lot of reports and all that of testing originally a couple weeks ago, and they seem to just have a few problems and so forth, and I'm not so sure about El Plan. I love it. I love El Plan as far as just the nature of it and, the whole inside kind of joke thing about it, but And don't get me wrong, Alonso, he is a tactician. So I think he is going to be, but you saw him with other teams. If there wasn't, you can only do so much if the engine isn't there, if the aero isn't there. I think Alpine might take a little bit longer than everyone expected. That's not really good Spanish whatsoever, right? But yeah, that's where I put them at. And when we're discussing Alpine, as far as drivers, Ocon did beat Fernando, but I think Fernando is coming back this season, and maybe that's the L plan. So moving on to AlphaTauri, Yuki and Gasly. Now Gasly, man, this guy's just a beast. He's just consistently getting better and getting better. And I think if he was definitely back in a Red Bull, well, I don't even want to say that. Let's not say that. I just think if he was definitely in a stronger car, like they threw him in a Ferrari or something, he'd have to be somebody to watch out for. I mean, this dude just makes a lot out of nothing sometimes, and it's just impressive. And I think Yuki, I think he's starting to get it. He's in his sophomore year now, and I think he's going to be making a lot less mistakes. He'll still make some, but I think he's going to be putting up a lot more points that he should have, and that's going to make out a lot better for the team. And where I place them, I think they're going to do 6. So they're not going to be far off the Red Bull pace, I think, actually. I mean, yeah, they're sister teams and stuff, but, not everything is similar. They got that little unique kind of nose feature. Who knows what that does, but we already know. This sport is made up of tenths and hundredths and sometimes thousandths of a second. So maybe that's it. But I think Alpha definitely has it in them. And then I think the reason why they're going to be closer to Red Bull is I think a couple of the other teams, as you saw, are actually going to be pulling out some pretty good party tricks and doing pretty well as far as performance. So that's how the gap's narrowing a little bit. Now, as far as AlphaTauri drivers, you can see I put Pierre Gasly above Tsunoda. I mean, they're both great, but come on. I think Gasly's going to take it for sure. Aston Martin, another beautiful machine. And of course, they got the best right there. They got one of the greats, Sebastian Vettel. Who doesn't love this guy? Number 5. And Lance Stroll, he can be kind of strong in his day. Not the most interesting F1 driver, but, at least he's not like, a Mazepin, rich and just kind of obnoxious with it or whatever. But, you know what I mean? And once in a while, you hear him complain and stuff, but Lance is all right. As far as Aston Martin, I'm really hoping that they pull out some performance this year. And I'm not so sure it's going to happen. Yeah, but all right. So where's the ranking? Well, you see, I put them at 5th. So again, I'm not quite sure they can do it, but I'm trying to have some faith in that Aston Martin team. And I'm definitely trying to have some faith in Lance Stroll and his dad and just, that they're putting their money where it needs to go and doing the right things with it. So we'll see. We'll see. I might be eating my words with that one, but, it's all good. It is all good. And, of course, for Aston Martin drivers, Seb Vettel, number 5's getting it. Come on. I like Stroll, but he's not going to beat Vettel. He's not. Now, moving on to Williams. Kind of a switch up here with Albon. I'm definitely excited to see Albon back in his seat for real. I mean, Albon's just a good guy, and he can race. He needed just a little bit more time to really get acquainted. We all know how Red Bull is. I won't go deep into that path. I'm not going down that rabbit hole right now, but Albon, I definitely think is going to be a great addition to this team. It's all smiles, and I hope he puts up the performance. I really think that he will. Williams, and I really think that he is going to be able to do some things. Now, where did I put to a lot better situations, like 2013, 2014 maybe when they were around? But I think that there's just going to be some other teams that are pushing out some performance. Well, I put Williams down in 10th. That's right. I really think, they kind of eked out, what was it, P9 last year or P8? But I think they're going to have a good car, and I think the drivers are going to be working well too. Although I do think Albon is going to best Latifi in the drivers. So, yeah, that's where I think they stand. All right, now Alfa Romeo. This team is just looking clean. I mean, the car looks great. Way to launch it, kept everyone guessing with the camo. Check out my single review on their livery and design. But I really think that they're going to be in a pretty good place. I mean, they got Valtteri Bottas. I mean, he just coming off Mercedes. He's a strong driver. Everybody knows that. Super strong when he's on his day. And even when he's not, he can do pretty well. And then you got Guan Yu Zhou. And if I'm not saying the name right, I'll have to say it a few more times before I get it down packed. But, I think this kid's going to be all right. And I think he's going to be coming with some of that intensity. And I think it's going to make for a strong driver pairing. I think he's going to push Bottas a little more. I think Bottas is smart, though. I don't think Bottas is coming in this thinking, yeah, I'm just walking all over this kid. He can see that some of these young generation drivers are coming with a lot of heat. And so I think he's keeping that in mind. He's going to bring his strong. But, I mean, he also performed and had to perform, weekend, week out, weekend in and weekend out against Hamilton. So, the pressure isn't going to be too big on him, but I definitely think that he's not going to let that slip, that he needs to bring his performance. That said, I think they're going to be a pretty good pairing together. And the car that they have, I mean, if it drives halfway as good as it looks, and I think it kind of is, I think Alfa Romeo definitely put some time and energy into this new year. I mean, like obviously all the teams did, but I think they're trying to get away from where they were before, and I think they can definitely bring some performance. Where are they falling? That's the big thing, right? Well, I think they're coming out in 7th. So a little bump. And of course, I'm going to call Valtteri above Guan Yu Zhou. And that's just, his experience. He's been in a few different cars now. He's been in F1 for a while. I definitely think they brought him in for a reason. He's got great skills. He's not just someone who's been around for a while. And I just think he's going to be able to outbeat his teammate. But I think, again, his teammate's going to just, give him some runs for his money here and there for sure. And last but not least, Haas. Yeah, man, a lot of talk around Haas these days, right? Of course, we all know why. Mazepin's out, and of course, you got Pietro at least filling in for the time being. And, of course, we got Mick Schumacher, and I'm definitely a Schumacher fan, so I'm definitely a Mick Schumacher fan, and I just love the kid. And he makes it so easy. He's such a great person. And then Pietro, he's a pretty cool guy. Don't know as much about him. I've seen some things, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better. And to be honest, I'd really like to see him. I kind of feel like I'd like to see him get the seat. Maybe throw out some other names. Who else you think should be in there? We can definitely have a conversation about it, but I don't think it's going to be a bad idea. And I think they're going to be able to rock out a little bit. I think these guys, and this is what they need. Kind of reset the playing field with these cars. Like I've said a few times, these guys are young, hungry. And so I definitely think, they got some legacy behind them so that, maybe they don't got all the experience, but, there's some experience around them. And I think they're going to be all right. And so I put Haas at 9th. I really think that they're going to, put on a little bit better performance. Maybe I'd be surprised. I mean, Haas was able to do some things, in the early when they first started out. So, who knows with this whole change up, with the regulations and stuff, maybe they do even better. But I definitely think they're going to do all right. And I'm going to say that Mick Schumacher is going to outbest his teammate or whoever it's going to be, even if it's not Pietro. I think he's going to be the one to take the team and lead it forward. Yeah, that's it. That's where we're at. So you got Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Haas, and Williams. Now, let's see how good or bad I do. And I'll stay with it throughout the season. Hopefully I don't have to take the red marker out too soon and just X, something way off the list. But we shall see, and we'll get a better indication as we go into this weekend. That's right. Look at that track, Bahrain. Yeah, going to be some great times. I'm looking forward to the testing. Of course, I think everybody is, and I think everybody's looking forward even more to the weekend after when we can actually see these cars do actual runs on the track. Lights out, away we go. You know the whole deal. I just really can't wait for it. So I will be, sticking with it this weekend, giving you some updates. I can't wait to actually, I think what I may do on race weekends, I may actually do a watch along for not the whole qualifying, but I might just do Q3 and we'll see how it goes. Leave some comments. What would you like to see? What do you think would be pretty cool? I'm thinking of some ideas like that as we go forward. I'm not going to do whole watch-alongs for the whole race, but, I'll definitely be on IG. Check me out on Instagram. I'll be posting there too. F1P1 Life. I appreciate you checking out the channel. Be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell. Smash that like button on this video. Help me bring more content to all of you. And with that said, I'll see you next time.